you're ordinary and you love seizure-inducing Malaysian music, I've just the place for you.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 times SNL hosts broke character.
Now you kids are probably asking yourselves, hey Matt, how can we get back on the right track?
For this list, we'll be looking at the funniest and or memorable times a celeb simply couldn't hold it together during a Saturday Night Live sketch. Which celeb breaking always makes you laugh? Let us know in the comments. Number 20, Brittany Murphy, the Leatherman. A sketch starring notorious breaker Jimmy Fallon and some ill-timed sound effects sounds like a recipe for chaos. And that's exactly what a sketch from this episode gives.
Can I get you into some leather?
Well, these are kind of nice. Oh, these are fabulous, actually.
Murphy plays a customer interested in purchasing a pair of snakeskin pants. She really sinks her teeth into the comedy and leans into the ridiculousness of the scenario. And props to her, she lasts far longer than we could have, especially once Horatio Sands enters the scene.
Choo-choo! Why did I give him that whip for his birthday?
However, she eventually can't hold it back any longer. When she does break though, she continues the scene so seamlessly that it almost looks like a character quirk, rather than genuine laughter.
Maybe leather isn't right for me.
Number 19, Maya Rudolph, Super Showcase spokesmodels. Given Rudolph's experience as a former SNL cast member, you might assume she'd have keeping a straight face down to a fine art. And sure, that might be the case, until she's paired up with Kristen Wiig.
It's a real all-in-one!
When she returned as host and co-starred in this particularly memorable skit as a game show spokesmodel, the results were downright tumultuous and utterly hilarious. Their exaggerated accents and ridiculous prizes are enough to make anyone chuckle.
That's a chicken man guarantee. If your mom likes chicken, you might like chicken!
Hader and Wiig are visibly struggling to keep their composure along with Rudolph. However, it's Wiig's antics on the golf cart that properly sets her off. Not only does Wiig break the set, but she breaks Rudolph too.
That wasn't supposed to happen.
Number 18, Jonah Hill, Benihana. Few things are funnier than a kid with an old soul. Just ask Jonah Hill. He plays Adam Grossman, a 6-year-old who seems possessed by, to quote the actor, a Catskills comedian.
Can I get you folks something to drink?
Cup of Joe for me, sweetheart, please. And I like my coffee like I like my nanny's. Black and bitter. I'm kidding, I'm 6! I'll take a fruit punch, neat.
In this segment of the recurring sketch, Adam goes to Benihana with his nanny, Lily, played by Leslie Jones. Hill is absolutely hysterical as the overconfident, chatty child, so it's hardly surprising that not only does he make Jones break repeatedly, but he can barely hold it together himself.
You're giving me nothing here. It feels like pulling teeth without a string. How about some chef tricks? That'll lighten the mood.
He goes above and beyond to bring this colourful character to life, and he does such a stellar job that even he can't help but laugh.
I have no idea what that means, but redemption song! It is excellent!
Number 17, Drew Barrymore, the Lovers with Barbara and Dave.
Barbara, what brings you to the prestigious Wellesley Arms?
The usual.
Barrymore is practically an SNL Hall of Famer. She first hosted the show in 1982 when she was just 7 years old, and joined the Five Timers Club in 2007. However, as this sketch proves, experience means nothing when something is just that darn funny.
We submitted to his ravenous desires. As the three of us became one with the great eagle spirit.
Let's be honest, Will Ferrell entered this sketch determined to crack up his scene mates, and he succeeds. In fact, his and Rachel Dratch's commitment to their characters make it impossible to remain poker-faced. Just look at Barrymore's expression. By the end of the sketch, she can no longer contain her laughter, and who can blame her?
Lover, would you care to see my bed adorned with hibiscus petals and my photo of me? And Geena Davis.
Geena Davis, that sounds nice.
Number 16, Christina Applegate. Matt Foley, Van Down by the River. Take everything you know about motivational speakers and toss it out the window. You've got Matt Foley. With every clunky movement or emphatic cry of,
"And I live in a van down by the river,"
Chris Farley knew how to make everyone cackle, and the cast was no exception. According to David Spade, Farley hid some of his character quirks, like readjusting his pants until the live show, with the likely intention of surprising and breaking his castmates. He succeeded.
"Well, la-de frickin' da!"
Spade and host Christina Applegate can barely hide their giggles, and the more physical Farley gets, the more they struggle. We imagine Matt Foley could still hear their laughter down in his van by the river.
Whoops-a-daisy. By God. We're gonna have to clean that up later.
Number 15, Bill Hader. Girlfriend's Game Night. When you think of SNL actors breaking character, we imagine this springs to mind. John Mulaney would famously add new jokes at the last minute to make Hader break as Stefan. In one particular occasion, he whispers in his ear, making him fall apart completely.
Thank you, Sean.
However, arguably the highlight of Hader's hosting stint was Girlfriend's Game Night, where he plays Horace, the older husband of Cecily Strong's Jeannie. Horace isn't quite in control of his wheelchair, providing ample hilarity.
Slow, Horace. Slow, Horace. Horace. Slow, Horace.
As he tries to back up part of the set, Melissa Villaseñor moves with him. Naturally, this makes everyone crack up. Hader tries hiding his laughter behind Strong, but he isn't fooling anyone.
You should be ashamed of yourselves. Which woman is your friend?
Number 14, Margot Robbie. Actress Round Table. Sometimes a skit hits a little too close to home. On Margot Robbie's only time hosting the show so far, one of the skits she did was a spoof of an actress's round table discussion, featuring Robbie doing a fairly good Keira Knightley impression.
Thank you. Actually, so great to be here supporting women in film.
The other cast members are also playing younger, real actresses, all except for Kate McKinnon, who is playing a fake actress named Debette Goldry, who is much older and worked during the golden age of Hollywood.
It's a pleasure to be alive.
The gag is that while all the younger actresses give standard, fairly boring answers, Debette tells totally wacky, often inappropriate stories from long ago in her career. Poor Robbie has a tremendously hard time not laughing at her, but hey, it's hard not to laugh at Kate McKinnon.
You girls know how it is.
No, we don't. Is that a thing that happened?
Number 13, Justin Timberlake, the Barry Gibb talk show, Bee Gees Singers. If anyone has proven themselves to be an SNL all-star, it's Justin Timberlake. To join the Five Timers Club, you can't be a slouch in the comedian department.
Welcome to the Five Timers Club. We've been expecting you, Mr. Timberlake.
Wow.
Smoking jacket?
Please.
But even five-timers fall sometimes. In one of Timberlake's earlier performances on the show, he did a skit with Jimmy Fallon titled The Barry Gibb Talk Show. In the skit, Fallon plays the titular Gibb, taking on the singer's signature falsetto and speaking voice.
What effect do you think this is gonna have on California politics as a whole?
As Barry's brother Robin, Timberlake is hilarious, but sometimes has a hard time, understandably, keeping a straight face at Fallon's antics. The face he makes to try and keep himself from laughing is one for the books.
Do you have anything to add?
Number 12, Candice Bergen. Extremely stupid. Flubbing your lines in a sketch featuring a PSA-like message from the Right to Extreme Stupidity League might seem like bad timing, but it's incredibly funny.
You know, we all can't be brainy like Fern here.
Cast member Gilda Radner plays Fern. Or is it Lisa? Whatever her name is, she's a few cards short of a full deck. Her friend, played by the host, tries to point this out, only to mess up the line.
You're not too bright, are you, Fern? I mean, whatever your name was.
Bergen can barely keep it together after that. But when Radner seemingly ad-libs a couple of references to the gaff, she loses her cool entirely.
Extremely stupid people are discriminated against all the time. And I should know, and so should Fern, because we are extremely stupid people.
And it takes some time until she's able to regain her composure. We can't think of a more perfectly timed flub. Number 11, Pedro Pascal. Lisa from Temecula.
I guess I had 2 bones in my basement.
That's so crazy. What are the odds?
Ego Wodum gave the most as Lisa from Temecula in this season 48 sketch. Her all-in commitment as the bold, no-nonsense, yet blissfully oblivious Lisa is next level. But when she starts soaring away at her extra well-done steak, host Pedro Pascal can't even hide his laughter, chortling away as openly as if he was sitting in the audience.
I'm about to tear this thing up.
When I opened the door, he
Pascal later revealed that he was set off by scene mate Bowen Yang, who apparently rarely breaks. This sketch was so ridiculously over the top and outrageously hilarious that even the most poker-faced person would feel compelled to at least crack a smile. Poor Pedro. He never even stood a chance.
You know what? Y'all just haven't had it right. I'm gonna cut y'all a piece.
Number 10, Janet Jackson, Cork Soakers. To Janet's credit, it's pretty hard to watch this sketch and not crack a smile.
This is where the final step in the bottling process happens, where we prepare all the corks for all the bottles of Brunello that you saw earlier.
Jimmy Fallon, Horatio Sanz, and other members of the SNL cast play a group of Italian winemakers who are teaching a group of tourists about their craft.
I've always actually wondered about that. How do you cork the bottles?
Excellent question, my Bella.
Through the sketch, they all take turns saying the words cork soaker multiple times in very thick Italian accents. We'll give you a few moments to figure out what that sounds like.
I love soaking a cork. I could soak a cork all night long if they let me. I would have soaked 2 corks at once.
Janet plays one of the tourists and breaks character as she's asking the winemakers how they learned to soak corks.
So how did you learn to soak corks? Soak corks.
She flops a bit, starts to giggle, and things just devolve from there. Number 9, Emily Blunt, Escorts. You'd think a star like Emily Blunt would have hosted Saturday Night Live multiple times, so you might be surprised to learn the actress only has 1 hosting gig under her belt so far.
But I did get to improv a few little things, like, you know, the part where I said, it's me, you know, that was improvised.
She did a wonderful job by our standards, but there was one skit where she sort of lost her cool. In a skit called Escorts, Blunt and cast member Leslie Jones play 2 escorts who get very specific about what they will and will not do.
I will kiss, but only with this amount of tongue.
Oh, is your tongue out?
Yes.
Blunt mostly keeps it together through the first part of the sketch, but there's a moment towards the end where she has to fake a fall. She pops her head over the couch to say her line, but just can't stop a giggle fit from taking over.
Oopsie doopsie, I muffed it up again.
Number 8, Larry David, New Wife. Veteran comedians are known for their ability to keep character, no matter how funny the situation. So it's a wonderful but rare treat when someone like Larry David can't help but laugh at a sketch.
I got married this past weekend.
You did what?
I met and married a wonderful woman. She's opened up a whole new world to me.
David was a writer for SNL during its 10th season, and came back years later to play Bernie Sanders during season 41. But it was during one of his hosting stints that he caught a case of the giggles. In a skit called New Wife, David introduces his friends to his very young new wife, played by Cecily Strong.
Yeah, you guys can come, but you gotta bring 3 friends, and they have to be either buff, cute, or rude. 2 out of 3.
The skit plays on someone as old as Larry David having to say ridiculous hip lingo, and he seems just as tickled by it as the rest of us.
Is everything okay? You got so mad.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry. I took my prep on an empty stomach.
Number 7, Jamie Foxx, Main Justice. Saturday Night Live has had some pretty strange running skits over the years, but one of the oddest has to be Main Justice.
Okay, y'all take a seat. Y'all take a seat right here, right now.
SNL veteran Justin Timberlake once starred in this sketch, but today we want to honour Jamie Foxx's turn. The sketch itself is absolutely ridiculous. The people in a courtroom in Maine act like they're from the Louisiana Bayou, confusing a character who's from out of town.
Hey, what the hell is going on here?
Okay, all right now. Okay, here we go now.
If we're being honest, Jason Sudeikis' accent alone would have probably made us laugh way earlier in the sketch, so kudos to Foxx for holding on as long as he did. But there's one particular quote at the end that involves the word swamp and butt, and Foxx just can't keep it in.
Half the time up to Uncle Orville's airboat and drag his bare, lily white butt across the swamp to put out that ass fire.
Number 6, Sean Hayes, Jeffries. Not many actors are well known for a singular character as Sean Hayes is, but Jack from Will and Grace is one of the most indelible sitcom characters of all time.
Okay, that's interesting. You'd think maybe you could have told me this, I don't know, before I packed up my entire life?
So it makes sense that Hayes would be given a character semi-similar to Jack on his Saturday Night Live stint in 2001. Think Jack, but a little more hipster. In this skit, Hayes and Jimmy Fallon play a couple of sales clerks at a store called Jeffries, who mock and belittle every customer who comes in.
What? This is a genuine Looney Tunes jacket.
Wow, I didn't know Joey Buttafuoco had a garage sale.
Hayes mostly keeps it together during the skit, but when Will Ferrell rolls in on a motorized scooter, well, that's the end of Hayes' straight face.
We're going to the Dolce & Gabbana show. How fast can you have your bags packed for Milan?
Number 5, Kevin Hart, Barnes & Noble firing. And once again, we get a veteran comedian who can't quite keep it together. But to Kevin Hart's credit, this Barnes & Noble sketch is one of the funniest the show has produced in its later years. Hart plays a manager at a Barnes & Noble store who has to fire one of his employees.
Unfortunately, I'm gonna have to let somebody go today.
Yeah, right! Oh, what? We know you think it's us!
Yeah, you nerds hate us because we work in the cafe!
Thinking they're on the chopping block, Cecily Strong and Bobby Moynihan begin insulting their co-workers within an inch of their lives.
Trenton! Oh. Why do you always look so wet?
Why?
Do you hatch out of an egg every morning?
These two are hilarious, but Tim Robinson is who finally gets Hart to crack. During one of Hart's lines, Robinson pops up behind him without warning, causing him to break character and let out a quick laugh.
I would never fire any person in this room except Carl.
Oh, no.
Except for Carl. Breathe a beer, he's old, he's useless. He's just that good to me. Sorry, Carl, you gotta go.
Number 4, Billie Eilish, Hotel ad. When a host doesn't have a lot of comedy chops under their belt, it's easy to see why some of the skits that Saturday Night Live writers come up with might throw them off their game. So is the case for Billie Eilish, who hosted the show in 2021 and did surprisingly well for a first-time host, especially one so young.
Our rooms provide every comfort required by law. Tiny soap in plastic. Phone that blinks.
One of her best skits was Hotel Ad, in which Eilish lent her impeccable monotone voice to a very strange and off-putting commercial for a hotel.
Want to see the local sights? Ask our concierge, Doreen. But be warned, she's having a hard month every month.
But unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on how you look at it, Eilish couldn't hold that deadpan tone for long, especially not next to the very hilarious Kate McKinnon.
Situated between the DMV and a darkened Sonic, it's the location that will make your Uber driver say, "You sure?"
Number 3, Lindsay Lohan, Debbie Downer, Disney World.
Well, you guys, Disney World really is fun. It makes me feel like a kid again. I mean, the time before my 2-year stint at Children's.
This sketch is anything but a downer. Indeed, taking Rachel Dratch's iconic recurring character to the happiest place on Earth was a stroke of genius. Although, even Pluto walks away from her with his tail between his legs.
With that costume on, he's probably in the early stages of heat stroke.
Nevertheless, as they say, misery loves company, and Debbie's misery is such a crowd pleaser that she soon breaks everyone. Credit to Lohan though, who holds out longer than most of her scene mates. However, eventually, even she gets caught up in the hilarity and loses it.
You are totally ruining my trip to Disney. I didn't say a word during It's a Small World when you talked about low birth weight, or during the fireworks when you went about feline AIDS.
The actress later told Vogue that she quickly left the set as she was worried she'd get in trouble for laughing. Number 2, Adele, Africa Tourism. While the subject matter is somewhat sketchy, this skit is primarily remembered for Adele's infectious laughter.
You're gonna want that coconut water. Last night, I saw the fancy gold.
She plays a divorcee discovering the continent of Africa alongside cast members Kate McKinnon and Heidi Gardner. As any SNL fan knows, keeping a straight face while sharing the screen with McKinnon is very hard. And for sure, the comedian comes close to breaking the singer numerous times. It starts with a sly smile and a slight chuckle here and there. But it's Gardner who delivers the double entendre that leaves Adele doubled over and laughing out loud.
The rhythm, the drums, the pounding. The fanning yourself with a palm between rounds.
It was the breakout sketch of the night. Now that's some powerful laughter.
Tell your travel agent that you want to see Africa. All of it. From Angola to Jamaica.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honourable mentions. Scarlett Johansson, Hollywood dish with Scarlett Johansson. Bill Hader and Kristen Wiig dished up more than ScarJo could take.
You have great skin. What is your secret?
Well, I make sure I never go to bed with makeup on.
Chris Pine, Star Trek Lost Episode. What's that they say? Live, laugh, and prosper?
Sulu, don't be illogical over here. What are you doing? I'm sorry, but we've got no other choice.
Dana Carvey, George H.W. Bush and George W. Bush go hunting. He was gunning to make it through this sketch without laughing.
Put down the antlers. Put them down. Almost hit you for a second.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Ryan Gosling, Close Encounter. When you make Ryan Gosling break character this badly, the only choice is to do it again. And that's exactly what Saturday Night Live did.
Yes, you three experienced the first verified case of alien abduction, so naturally you are of great interest to the United States government.
When Ryan Gosling first appeared in the Close Encounter sketch, there was no way we could have known just how iconic this appearance would come to be. The sketch portrays 3 people who are abducted by aliens and asked to tell the government about their experience, and marks another instance of Kate McKinnon making people absolutely lose it.
Were these beings also bathed in light?
No, they were gray with big fat eyes, little mouths. They just stared while I peed.
As soon as she gets going, Gosling is absolutely down for the count. He tries to hide behind his hand, but nothing can hide that smile.
So I had to just chill up there with my damn coot and prune shoe till the place opened up.
Gosling Gosling later reprised the sketch, but nothing is as good as the original.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.